Football here. Kicking off. It's here. We can feel in Seattle. Tonight's a pair of NFC photo square. It's the Green Bay Packers and the Seattle Seahawks. Here's Brandon McManus to get this one going. Monday Night Prime Time is underway. To return this, Rashid Shaheed. Team gets him down between the team. Come the Seahawks, their first offensive possession. And bringing him out, one of the NFL's best stories as his way, the former third overall pick Brock, who has revitalized his NFL career. Sam Darnold. If we'd asked Sam Darnold coming out of USC as the third overall pick in the draft to write the story of his career, I don't think he would have written some of these chapters. But in the end, it makes you tougher. It makes you grittier. And playing quarterback in the NFL is a lot about that. Your ability to just withstand adversity and to continue to get up time after time after time and say, "Don't just show me this advance." It's a win. He's up to the 35 yard line. The quarterbacks aren't always the one dishing out punishment, but when they take it and they deliver a throws a Brody ball, when they deliver a ball right on target just like that, then the respect factor grows hundredfold with the teammates. Just a yard left to go on second down. There's one period that's it for the first thing. He's with the first step of the Seahawks. First and 10 at the 43-yard line. Stay with Walker. He's going to make the field down the Minnesota down 45-yard line. So, Seahawks. That's going to do it for the first quarter on Monday Night Prime Time. Hopefully, no shortage of excitement coming up in the second. Well, from Lucas Field in just a minute. About set for the second quarter. Seahawks football here. They're looking at yet another 1st and 10 on this drive. Oh my God. Defensive play. Charles Lynch incomplete. A lot of points and a lot of yards have just gone hand in hand here in the first half, and they both really trace back to the same root cause: an inability to consistently find and exploit any opening in what's been a very sound defensive game plan. And he showed the first after the game. The Seahawks calling for a timeout. They're first to 3. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Third and 4 coming up now. They'll get him. Here's the points. 4 and 7. Yeah, Seattle going to call it second time. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. 8 of 9 yards on the play. That means a quick set of downs for Seattle. Now Donovan. That's an execution. And he gets this forward to the 19.
Hey, you get these results on first. That completion right there, like the window with all options are now available to you on second down. That play ball, wide open.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. To throw, he's flying. He keeps saying to second. The Seahawks has been there 30 minutes. And that's all they've got. What order is this at?
First and 10 at the 11-yard line.
They keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another 1st and 10. He's talking about the hits at the back of the end zone, incomplete.
You know what that route is called, right? OTB, over the ball. And those are the ones you've got to hit. You've got to be able to play offense from the inside out. Got to find a completion right there.
2nd and 10. Darn it. I say it was not one of the answers.
Fairly safe to say is that one falls incomplete this first half so far. It's not at the standard they set for themselves.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Here we go. 7-9. So let's see us in the end zone, incomplete. Okay, already a big decision to make on your opening drive, Rock. Is this 4-down territory, or do you take the field goal and be happy to start off with some points?
Well, remember, Kate, I think we're going to see this all year long. This new kickoff rule is real. You know, that ball now coming out to the 35-yard line, it affects the data and the decision making. You're going to see more and more teams be aggressive.
Myers' kick is good. Opening drive ends in 3.
If you're going to take a methodical drive off of a touchdown, that's the second best thing you can do. You can take all the time down, but once on goal, a little momentum and heading to halftime.
Let's see if it's a kick return that ends on or if we can play from scrimmage. Yes, this runs away. And a couple yards deep, this is going to come out. This one will take the field first. To a field goal game at the half. It won so far, 2 quarters to go. Now it's checking with Scott Hansen. He's got our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our studios in Orlando. Scott Hansen with you, and we'll keep it brief because the scoring has been great. Just one field goal as we play on 3-0. It was promised there'd be touchdowns, so let's find out if we can get one in the 3rd quarter. Send it back out to our broadcast team, Kate Scott and Mark Hewer.
Excellent work, that is always Scott. Love that halftime report. Just a field goal game for us here as we start quarter number 3. Here's Myers now to handle the kickoff. Manuel Wilson to return it. He's going to existence. Now comes Green Bay. They have the first series of this second. And their defense sure has kept this game close. It's time for them to come through. Get some points for their team in this low-scoring affair. Green Bay offense to the line now. 1st and 10. Here's Jeff Jacobs. Get his first look at it. He's quickly into the wrong direction. First 3 sit down behind the line. So some immediate revenge for that last play, Blanc. I don't know. What do you think? Is it going to take away the pain from giving up that big run to cover play?
Not necessarily, because it really does take a group failure to give up a big run like that in the NFL. But it also takes a whole lot of teamwork to knock him behind the sticks. John, well done there.
And follows to the two. It's incomplete. That's October Reed. So they're not facing Phil alone.
Well, that drop is such a bummer because it ruins the payoff of such a well-designed play, Kate. Got the man open, beat the coverage, and you gotta go finish it. You gotta go make that catch. I will say, keep that one in mind. They could revisit that for the future.
And they hit some games, so they didn't take competition, but they didn't play well because they forced this fourth down.
You can earn the money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not getting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days. You can make a play and looking for some promises, some money will follow.
He's got this at the 27. Nice feeling effort there on that return. We'll take it to the end of this quarter. On Monday night, but we'll see you all with it. Currently, we're not quite so comfortable in. We've set a downs for him. They'll start at the 38. Oh, we're going to pass it here. Second close. He's going to get this up to the 45 before he's got to. The Panthers take their first time out. And they still have two available for them as we approach the end of this game. Second and 3 now. Walker from the gun. It's the seat first down. Finish off this way for him. Now time taken by Green Bay. That's it second. And they'll have just one left to burn out. Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on first down. So simple snaps and 12 cheering as the Seahawks win at home. And they got the field goal when it mattered most. Kick the difference in the game and what lets them lead here with a victory. That does it for another broadcast of the NFL on EA Sports. My partner in the booth brought to you, I'm Kate Scott. The Seahawks winners, as we say so long from Seattle.
Football view.
It's offensive football. Welcome in the Union Field in Seattle. Tonight's of your NFC Football Spirit. It's the Seattle Seahawks. Here's Jason Myers to get this one going. Here we go. Monday Night Prime Time. This one's fielding at the 40-yard line. This one was inside the 25. So the St. Alphonse take it for the first time here. They'll be led out by the Louisville products. I know those folks are excited for them. As are the folks from Texas Tech and Oregon. There's Tyler Shook.
It was really obvious. Tyler has nothing to prove about his dedication to the game. And he put his body on the line collegiately. He got that covered across a 7-year career in a couple different stops. Evaluators, they love grit. Tyler's got a lot of it.
This is a combo to the ball. This is going to a spectacle for 10:33 hour limit. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, first down.
It's a gain of 10.
It kind of seems to me like somebody was just kind of waiting for clean time. He's pissed up the very first carry. He's got us.
Sure, first and 10. Taking a while here. Let's see. This one makes a lot of freeze. They're going to get forward to the lane 40 feet. It's an 11-yard pickup, but it gives them the first down.
You see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end. Because that's so funny. That play actually gives him time off of the line, helps shoot the rusher, or even helps sell that fake. When he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that bad.
And puts the 50 and pushing on the opposing side of the field. We get to 7 yards, and that brings it into our first quarter. 3-1 on Monday Night Prime Time. Couple of zeros on the board right now. More from Littlefield in just a minute. We're back for the second quarter. Saints in possession of the football. They'll have second down as they'll to continue this good drive. That's made. The game gets this down inside the 35. Game 15 there. That's good for a new set of downs for the Lions.
So nothing, Kate. That may as well be listed on his resume because he's so good at it. Cut that one near the line, and after that, there's all him. Turning a novice pass into football more. Even the school.
He takes it off. It's 15, and they lose the sticks. The Saints call for it now. Stand first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime.
First and 10, but the 18-yard line.
All right, they look set now. Here we go. First and 10. Inside the red zone. Yes, sir. We're going to get 2 on the field. We're going to get the see goes down. Game's up now here. 2nd taken by Lawrence. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. Offense needs to shape out that second of hurries. They get ready for second down and 13. They kick the running back in motion. Goes to show. He doesn't see him, so he just.
Everybody wants to play quarterback to play like that. There's no resistance off the ball and the defense ready to maul it. It's all he could do to get rid of it before he gets just clumped.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. They're long for him here. Seahawks going for it now. They're first and 3. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Now we'll have a field goal try coming up for the Saints. It's 44 yards here from the left hand. Smith able to put it through. All the way into the second quarter. He's into lead.
You'd expect him to make most of those attempts from this distance, but it's never a lot. So they'll probably take this and finish off the drive with points.
Smith has it on the tee and is ready to send it flying. Return coming from the 6. Switch it into the 25. The Seahawks offense to the field. The drive to this first hit. They don't have much time left, but facing a small deficit, they keep trying to get this in the field goal range. Only half a minute to go in our half. Let's see how they begin the drive. Up to the backfield, motioning right. Still first and 10. Oh, he was surprisingly, he falls incomplete. Second thing come up.
That is a DB's best phrase. Pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target. It hit him to alter that last second attempt to get rid of it.
Another try on the 25. It's second and 10. Shaheed motioning right. Second and 10. As well with the 32. Yeah, Seattle going to call it second timers. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left at this half. To the line. Here's third and 3. Here's Donald. Connection lead to Shaheed. Before the late that gives the Seahawks the first.
I know I can set up a broken record when I said about screaming on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
First and 10, Donald. And they're going to get to him after down with the first few as they send him out.
They can't, you know this from covering the Seahawks calling a preseason game. Pete Carroll was there. He said it once, he said it 100 times. Stay on top, stay on top, stay on top. You'll give up a short little out route like that, but just stay on top of the deep threat.
And again, it's Donald. And they'll be up enough to move the chains. Getting something else. 8 seconds remaining before halftime.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
Football's on the 48. Here we go. First down. Darnold. Complete. And it goes the 40.
You've got the job of the country to watch young quarterbacks, even really good high school quarterbacks. It's to complete. Slants, goes, fades, all that stuff comes somewhat naturally. Really trusting yourself to throw that in. There comes a time and experience.
And experience no good. They're unable to tie up this contest.
He was hitting from that distance pregame. We were on the field watching it, and they were confident he could do so again. Just did not work out this time around.
Here's the full play of our first half. Rolling here. This before. Oh, that's for the end zone. And 2 minutes. Took his shot. No doubt. It's going to take out to the break.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our studios in Orlando. Scott Hansen with you, and we'll keep it brief because the scoring has been great. Just one field goal as we play on 3-0. It was promised there'd be touchdowns, so let's find out if we can get one in the third quarter. Send it back out to our broadcast team, Kate Scott and Brock Hewer.
Excellent work as always. Scott, more than halftime reports. Just a field goal game for us here as we start quarter number 3. Smith has it on the tee and is ready to send it flying. To return this, Rashid Shaheed. Decent rebound is going to earn his leg and down and significantly. The Seahawks taking the field for their second possession. Their defense has really kept them in this game. Now it's time for this offense to start putting up some points. Seattle getting everybody set. They've got 1st and 10. I'm talking about the play action. Touchdown. See, click the link. Number 2. There's a vision that's it's good place. 6 points. I can see the 6 points they have prepared. They're next series. It's a sweet spot. Plus the can't catch and sleeping. Just look that's right. Now it's Jason Myers on for the extra point. Right down, man. Let's go. See, stick it to the plate. Here's Myers now. Handle the kickoff. Turn starts at the 3. And that's going to send them just beyond the rules. The Saints kept marching onto the field. They find themselves trailing after the opening drive touchdown. And that could really set up to be an entertaining second half if they're able to answer here. Saints to the line now. 1st and 10. He's sending over right. Play action. Here's Show. Taking him to the hit. And he's going to take a 28-yard block. It's what you call efficiency. It's what you're looking for in first game. Specs tips. It sets up second and very manageable. It creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield. Offense is saying this is something too. It's an action. It's only for me. And he'll get up to the 34 before he's tracked down. 6 yards on the play and an for first. We reached the final quarter. It's the Saints' fault. They're down on the scoreboard, but things not out of hand yet. Weary of the clock here, Brock, but at least all the timeouts are still available. It's first and 10. They're on for 2 minutes. Now we're able to project some movement before he's able to break it through midfield. The Saints calling for a timeout, so they're first. And they still have 2 available for them. This is when it approaches the end of this game.
I think anytime these offensive coordinators in the NFL call a run play, they're just looking for something positive. To get a first down, that's a bonus.
2 timeouts remaining and some time left to use them. It's first and 10. Setting up to Pitts. That's a few hands and around. He's going to go down right along midfield side.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. There's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
This is 7 and 6 coming up. Look to throw it. They get this thing to the 34-yard. We have a time down here. 71 taken by New Orleans. They're still going to have 1 left at their disposal.
It's such a privilege for me to watch Morgan Harrison, Reggie Wayne in person in Indianapolis do their work. Daryl Jackson out in Seattle. They showed how great a deep out is. It's a chain moving play. It's all about getting that leverage at the top of the route. And exploiting the leverage is that ball arrives on time downfield.
Something.
Hey, listen, when you're throwing him in the middle of the field, he has to be crystal clear in your vision. There's so many defenders that can get into those zones. In the case of the QB there, trying to do a little bit too much and certainly didn't see the defender who comes up with the big interception.
The Seattle offense eager to get back on the field. That defensive stand might have been the final effort needed to seal away the victory, Brock, but can't quite take off the pads just yet. Offense has to finish this one out.
A few things here, Kate, to keep in mind, right? You got to slow the game down as a quarterback. Take every second off the clock. If you're handling the ball, you guard it with your life, and you make sure your defense doesn't come on the field again. They just did their job. Now you got to do yours.
So it's a win for the Seahawks. And it still shows up as a victory for them, Brock, whether they score 50 or they have a rough day putting points on the board. This has been another edition of the NFL on EA Sports. With all our crew here, my broadcast partner, Brock Ewart, I'm Kate Scott. The Seahawks winners, as we say so long from Seattle.
Welcome. No football here.
Tonight we've got an entertaining one in store for you. It's the Indian Coast, the Seahawks. Spencer Schrader is going to have the honor of getting this started. Monday Night Prime Time is underway. Is this at the 6? It's going to make this at the 28 before going down. It's a bit tough to see their first offensive possession. And bringing him out one of the NFL's best stories as of late, a former third overall pick Brock who has revitalized his NFL career. Sam Darnold.
If we'd asked Sam Darnold coming out of USC as the third overall pick in the draft to write the story of his career, I don't think he would have written some of these chapters. But in the end, it makes you tougher. It makes you grittier. And playing quarterback in the NFL is a lot about that. Your ability to just withstand adversity and to continue to get up time and time and time. And so God is showing
Small game to about the 32. Ken Moore there to make the stop.
every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
2nd and 6 coming up here. My favorite. Speaking of, I'm going to take this one back inside the red zone. This is your defense so early in a game, sending it out on short notice in a short field after you fumble away.
But these are the critical moments defensively you got to live for. Right? This is called sudden change. They practice this, and it's your time to put out this fire.
So out come the Colts for their first offensive possession. And then brought up by the 6th overall pick in 2019, one of the highest drafted Blue Devils ever, Daniel Jones.
Jones has had a tumultuous career. That's with the capital T, by the way, that continues to have some ups and downs. Maybe part of that's playing under the bright lights in the big city of New York. But he's had some tough outings. He's had some brilliant outings. He's had some ups. He's had some downs. But he did take a team to the playoffs, and he's got to use that experience, build off of that confidence to create a team. The 6 yards, drive starting run like that, Kate, is it really just gives you every opportunity to play the whatever you want to do. But as for me, I'd like to reward that one. Get to him again and see if he can get you a new set of downs.
It's going to go to the first quarter. Monday Night Prime Time. The zeros on the board right now. For look and feel in just a minute. Time for the second quarter here, and the Colts are making points. Second down carry for 10. Because we'll be posting one of the first points of this game. It's going to be first and goal now. The Seahawks calling for a timeout. They're first to 3. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime.
Look at here. You don't even have to worry now about a third down call as that little moves the sticks. The other call you have ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next third down coming.
Breaking the huddle. Here's first and goal. Ready from the gun. It's Jones. Finish that now. And he's going to score a touchdown. The Colts get some late points in the lead. Daniel Jones with a touchdown.
We know you can do it in different ways in today's NFL at quarterback. Some with the brains, the processing, that anticipation and accuracy. Some can do it with their improv skills to create a play and everything gets them. You just put on the show.
Spencer Schrader on now for the extra points. The Blue splits the uprights. And they want to their first touchdown of the contest. The Colts ready to kick this one away. And away we go once more. To return this, Rashid Shaheed. And he's going down just inside the 25. So Seattle retakes the field for their second series. And normally they'd lead this out, Rob, but facing such a small deficit, good chance they try to get a field goal here before the break. First call here, coming for the shotgun. The gunner, here's Darnold. And they will finally take shot to him just a second before we can reach the 40. Seattle going to call it second timeout. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Big set of downs from the 37. Running back sent in motion. Going on first. Here's Darnold. He gets second place. He can't even walk. He's going to get this into the 45 before he's brought in. Now the Seahawks have to spend their 30 final timeouts. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half. After a good pickup, they're set up with second and short. From the Darnold. The ball deals and they hit knocks it right, incomplete. Cooper cut the intended receiver. And what will they dial on third and short? Well, he connected on 3 straight before that throw, Brock. Might not be perfect anymore on this drive, but they are still moving it well.
And I don't expect that one to interrupt his progress very long. They're still on a mission this series. He's the one driving it.
Throwing there on third and 2. It's a running. People get 2 here. It means the first set of downs for Seattle.
Okay, they don't write the kid Louis going to go through in that situation. All they really care about are the results from third down. That's exactly the result they needed. Enough to keep this drive moving.
Here's first and 10 from the 47. Throwing it again here. Here comes Kitsu, taking it loose. And the big play drives the backward second down coming up.
So what about clock? It is so important to play in the position and playing it efficiently. You got to know, you got to have that clock in your head because that's enough time in this league to get rid of the ball. That's a lesson this QB's got to learn.
Looking to throw. Is he going to get something doing? They take him down. So that's it. Our first half's going to end. A momentum building play for their defense.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Scott Hansen and crew, thrilled to be with you from the Orlando studios at EA Sports. We'll keep this one short and sweet. Just one touchdown on the board so far. 7-0 at the half. When the offenses pick it back up, to find out, let's rejoin our commentary team, Kate Scott and Brock Hughes.
Thanks for that update, Scott. Welcome back, everyone, for the one touchdown game here as we get back down to the field. Here's Myers now. Hit on the kickoff. He's brought in just beyond that 25-yard line. The Indianapolis offense headed out for their second drive of the game. And they take the field exactly where they want it to be, Brock. Up for touchdown, they're lead with a whole a little quieter than normal.
You're going to lie to you, Kate. I think most quarterbacks, competitors love playing on the road when they do just this. Just quiet them. Like turn them against their own team. They were quiet after that opening touchdown. You score another one, we start to murmur and we might even hear a few bluebirds.
Play fake, Jones. This is a heat of doom and doom. It was incomplete. Couldn't hang on to the concept. In the middle of the field against zone coverage, you know, this first year, you know, throwing into block shot. And they're just, there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that kind of field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing the guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. But at that defense, it's around making the play.
To throw down here on second and 10, Jones. To the right, reeled in by Downs. And he's got a decent game before being booked in. The Seahawks calling for a timeout. They're first to 3. They will leave them with just 2 to use the rest of the way.
One thing I learned from the late great Mike Leach is, yeah, the system was called air raid, but it wasn't just attacking downfield. His philosophy, played out right there, is you have to attack every inch of the field, both vertically and horizontally, without routes or in routes, just like that.
Third down, Chelsea throw. And he playing super. I'm going to have to listen to the 44 as they come down. Yeah, Seattle going to call it second timeout. And they'll likely be very protecting of the only one they've got remaining.
First down, folks.
There's a reset. Here we go. Ball with the 44. Taylor gets it on first and 7. They send some straight in with the flex. So they look away. Now the Seahawks to spend their third and final timeout. And hopefully they don't put their regret using all 3 of theirs so early in the
Nobody rush hour, Kate, because there's a whole lot of traffic up the middle right there. He ran right into some gridlock, and he could only manage a few yards at most.
After the 3-yard pickup, it's second and 7. On the shotgun, it's Jones. This guy's nuts. Oops. The 44-yard line. 9 on that play, and it's an first.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry within between the two of them.
There's the reset. Here we go. Down at the 44. First down. It's Kelsey throw. It's going to be cute right to go. And they make the stop. What do you say about the 37-yard line? It's a long way to go on Monday night drive time. It's the Colts who hold the lead. Not a big one, though. Trying to carry this one through the final whistle. Lining up to take it on second down. So it's the Colts. And even though they only reached that end zone once, that was enough to win it. So that's it for us here. Brock Heward, our crew. I'm Kate Scott. This has been the NFL on EA Sports. The Colts are winners as we say so long from Seattle.
National Football League.
It's time for some football in the little family in Seattle. Tonight's a family efforts. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Seahawks. Wallace T. Knox, Chris Closewell to do the honors. Here we go on Monday Night Prime Time. To return this, Rashid Shaheed. Saints of the Finger. So now come the Seahawks for their first offensive possession. And bringing them out is one of the NFL's best stories. And it's played a former third overall pick Brock who has revitalized his NFL career. Sam Darnold.
If we'd asked Sam Darnold coming out of USC as the third overall pick in the draft to write the story of his career, I don't think he would have written some of these chapters. But in the end, it makes you tougher. It makes you gritty. And playing quarterback in the NFL is a lot about that. Your ability to just withstand adversity and to continue to get up time after time after time. Sam Darnold is shaking. They will come to the 34 before he struck down. That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable. It creates space to take that shot downfield.
Just a yard left to go on second down. Game gets them a new set of days.
You want to see a picture in the football dictionary of staying on schedule? That was it.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
They've got first down here from the 36. Running with blocking again. They take it down. This is a simple game. Monday Night Prime Time. Couple of zeros on the board right now. From Lumen Field in just a minute. About set for the second quarter. Seahawks football here. They've got 2nd and 7 to start. Looking now from the gun. He takes this into 46. That's going to move a yard at most from Florida on third down. The Seahawks call it for a timeout. They're first to 3. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Battle coming up on 3rd and inches. We kick the running back in motion. Third and short. This is getting to the 47-yard line. Yes, Seattle going to call it second timeout. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half.
47-yard line.
Here's first and 10 from the 47. To throw. Here's Tommy. Covered. It's the front. And he works this to the 38 before going.
I love to say we never broke taking the clock pheasant. So you often get it's when you use your eyes as a quarterback. Those hitch routes underneath throws. Oftentimes it's the eyes of the quarterback looking downfield and then taking that short completion.
Again, it's the roots. Let's take up that case. The Seahawks have spent their 35 timeouts. And that's all they've got. And what little means this now.
Okay, back in the day, we had a slip and slide to practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play and denied that defense. He had another chance to take a shot at him.
Offense sure is marching to begin this game. Here's a first down from the 30. Donald. Taking in Shaheen. And he gets it down officially tonight. So at the 20.
Second and inches at the Steelers' 20-yard line.
That's halftime, and we were up to your scoreless. That's it overall by Scott Hansen for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone. Scott Hansen here in the EA Studios in Central Florida. If you're a fan of offense, I know many of us are, this hasn't been the game for you. Zip, zip at the half. A rare score where next score might win. Let's find out who can break through into the third quarter. To call it for us, it's our commentary team, Kate Scott and Brock Ewan.
All right, thanks for that hard work, Scott. These two teams, they break this tie. We welcome you back to the third quarter. Well, Brock, I think it's safe to say this has been a defensive slobber knocker 3-2, right? Maybe some points finally on the horizon as we resume play. And these Seahawks means 25. Let's see the Steel offense first this year. Is that they could take control in the second half early, Brock, if they break the tie on this opening drive. Pittsburgh offense to the line. Here's first and 10. Everyone ready for the first time? It's a game of 12 on that one. And the Steelers have the first down.
That's good for us, Steelers. First down.
Well, more often than not, it's a passing game that's asked to go from first down to first down, just one play. Get that big play potential on the ground. Jeez, just infusing offensive confidence.
From the guard, and give to Gately. Second take is going to be a good bit. Can't even get back from the line. He's going to lose his yards. Their dominance against his ground game rolls on. Brock add another stop to what's going to be some real nice film for that village.
How many times you think in your lifetime, Kate, you've heard from the defensive coordinator, job number one is same thing. They've been doing.
Rogers from the gun. He completes it in trip. Not much doing. He stopped quickly. We usually front quarter the prime time. Somehow this game is still scoreless since we get set for our final quarter. Third down, and they need to get 2. Throwing now. Fire move. He's down. They're getting us up to the 41. The Seahawks going for a tough bounce. They're first to 3. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. On fourth down, it's Corliss Wakeman on for the Steelers to punt this away. And this somehow is only going to be our first punt of the game. And this one didn't hit the 8, but took a big bounce and finished its journey in the end zone for a touchdown. The Seahawks taking the field for their second possession. And even with some time left, Brock, a long ways to go to get into range for a game winner. They're going to need to move it in a hurry. Offense in the shotgun set as they line this up. First and 10. He has to throw. He gets this up to the 25.
So second and 5. The 25-yard line.
5 still to go here. This is second down. That's a throw. He's up to the 35. 82 seconds remaining in our contest. We're going to see what both teams decide to do with this one before.
Well, it sure seems like you knew exactly what he was doing when you got before this thing. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
All set to go now from the 35. Setting them for points. Incomplete defensively as that one falls incomplete. That's going to do it for regulation. So some bonus football in store for all those fans in the state. We're heading for overtime.
Jason Myers.
So hopefully this conclusion will be just as exciting as our opening 4 quarters. The kick is away here overtime. Johnson now in return. He's brought down to what looks like the 24-yard line. Here comes the Pittsburgh offense for their second try of the game. And they're certainly looking for some better results here. That's the first try. All right, Steelers to the line now. First and 10. First roll of overtime. He's still just reaches the 36-yard line. Pittsburgh will go ahead and use its second timeout. And that'll leave them with just one remaining in overtime. Great start to this drive. They're up in the neighborhood of midfield after just one play. It's the Rangers in the first and 7. Now can they see his hands complete? Trying to find his time. So the second down coming up.
Take your shots. Wouldn't it be aggressive defensively, Kate, when you get here to overtime? You send a blitz. It better get home. It better have an effect. And that time it did, forcing the completion.
Overtime just getting started. Both teams are going to get a chance with the football here. You've got second down. Next is going to come from the zone. He's down at 17-yard line. Give him 37 on the play. The first set of downs for Pittsburgh.
First and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Just about every offense since the beginning, since the former pass game, has left a tight end that can stretch the middle of the field. I remember as a kid watching Kellen Winslow Sr. do something right here between the inches. What a difference it can make for an offense.
The technical stops in the 3-solid game. The Steelers use their third and final timeout. Still have none remaining in OT.
Or some of those guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway. He wasn't looking at them. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them. And the group up front to find somebody to get a completion so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
Just a reminder, a touchdown doesn't end it here, but it would put them on the edge of victory. We're second down. He's got it's a touchdown. They were throwing for it there, and they didn't care who knew about it, Brock. And it turns out, hey, nothing was going to stop them either.
There's something about an empty formation. You are declaring into a defense. I don't think QB drama. This ball's going to be in the air. But at the same time, you also force the defense's hand. There's only so many coverages they can play. They just exposed them.
Here for the extra points and a 7-point lead to defend here in overtime. Extra points set right down the middle. And they walk on to their first touchdown of the contest. All right, gonna need to go touchdown for touchdown here. This game is over as this kicks away. Shaheed Nance, what's wrong? He's going to just inside the 25.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Starting out with an empty backfield, Brock. Here they come. First and 10. Running back sets in motion. It's his turn. It's another 35. Now they'll stop the clock with 9 seconds left in OT.
You know, okay, fine teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
All set to go now from the 35. Here's Darnold, first and 10. HEP to the woods. And he's technically back and gaining a handful. Whistles at a time. 4 seconds left in OT, so this is assuredly their final snap of this extra frame. This entire game hinges on them finding the end zone, Brock, as they come up on second down. For Lincoln, Darnold. Taking a chance in the end zone. Previously doing new tips, knocked away in the end zone. It's going to bring up third down. Keep the running back in motion. Keep throwing. Third down there with the set.
In theory, Kate, that's exactly what complementary man coverage is supposed to look like. The DBs, well, they're sticky on the back end of it. The front end, that pass rush, it makes an impact. It gets home. But of course, we know it's not that simple. It is really tough to lock down a full field more than a second or two.
Big moment here in overtime. Fourth down, and the offense is out there. Yes, it's wrong. lasers this one deep down in it. He is attempting near the red zone, just outside the 20.
I try to remind you of time with you, Kate, that you always have to start and read from the secondary forward. You got to see what the safeties are doing. If you're going to throw a ball in the middle field, deep downfield like that, you have to have tremendous awareness of where those safeties were. The QB just nailed it.
And he's going to get incomplete, so we've got 4 seconds and need to assume our final snap.
Sunday Samuel Jr. on the television.
After the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. The gun, here's the boots. Third down, Steelers in the dime. 6 DBs out there. Gonna throw it. It's a treat. Just made it.
Still go at the 5-yard line.
Well, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your third downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
The red zone, enforced. So their fans in the first down block. I think a lot of folks probably assume after the incompletion it'd be a run here on 2nd and goal. Let's say you.
Yeah, I think you always got to be careful about assuming as a fan, as a defensive coordinator. I think as an offense, you've worked on it all week, continue to get to the stuff you trust the most.
Smith and Jigba gonna motion over left. Here's the ball to throw. It's a good game. Top man. It's like the time for the win. You notice though, sometimes these dudes can be a quarterback's defensive friend. Find the time at the end, so for 6.
It really has been that way for decades when you think about it, Kate, from jumping to jumping to Travis Kelsey. The position can be such a mismatch when you're going for the end zone.
All right, they're leaving the offense out. So they want to end this here and now with a 2-point conversion.
Let's see what.
There's a 6 to the left. Oh, they didn't check the defense. They tried to get in the field, and this 2 points has failed. I know we know they're looking weird the breakdown occurred here, partner, but I think he just made a really good play defensively to get back there.
Yeah, you're not just thinking. He absolutely did it. That defender was reacting. Just shoot your shot. And that is teaching tape for that.
So the Steelers come in and take this on the road. And it took some extra effort, Brock, some bonus football before they were finally able to separate from the opposition and earn that hard-fought victory. So for my partner, Brock Stewart, and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott saying this has been the NFL Aussie Gay Sports. The Steelers are winners, and we take so long from Seattle.
National football team.
Kickoff minutes away. Here at Main Field in Seattle. Tonight we've got an entertaining line store for you. It's the Tennessee Titans. Seattle Seahawks. Here's Jason Myers to get this one going. Monday Night Prime Time is underway. Here's Sheila ADK on return. Seeing kids on different things at two. It's like it's rain for their company's rival game. You look at him now, somebody plays with his own signature brand of hero dog. Quarterback, it's Cam Moore.
The reason the King Ward went 1-1 in the destination is just one of those quarterbacks whose style of play just sets him apart. You just know it. He is a gunslinger, but looking for the balance of managing risks he takes while keeping those same fearless style of play right there in his pocket. That's going to be the challenge for him in his career.
The play fake. Here's Moore. He's actually not quite there yet. His opening throw of the game. You can go throws on target. God, help your guy out early. Wait, right?
Yeah, that's on the quarterback. I think we can all see that. That was a catchable ball. I've got a feeling he'll volunteer to take some of the blame anyway. That's just the way he's wired.
Still 10 to go. Second down now from the 26. First carry here for Silver Colorado. We'll take him down after he advances this to up to 43. The big play, that's a 17 offense. That's good for Tennessee first down.
You want to drain some of the expensive noise from the home stadium? It's exactly how you do it when you go on the road. Run it right down their throat from the jump.
It's down throw here for Ward. Look at the complete defensive play. Jarrett News, incomplete. I was looking for a quarterback. And it's going to be second down. We found the route he wanted pretty quickly, blocked, but maybe, I don't know, telegraphed he wanted a little too much because that defender sure got there just as the ball arrived to push it loose.
You know, this is one of those two performances in MLS, right? Because you know, offensively didn't get the job done, but I'm going to give a gold star to the defense. It's a job well done defensively.
That's going to do it for the score. Monday Night Prime Time. Couple of zeros on the board right now. Or from look and feel in just a minute. We're ready to go with the second quarter. And it's Titans football. They'll have an easy 31. You're this is stuffed before it can get to the first. Tackle there, bring up foot down. The Seahawks calling for a timeout. They're first to 3. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Now we have a stoppage. No challenges inside of 2 minutes and a half, but replay officially wants to take another look at this on their own. Well, we all know there can be so little room for error spotting the football, and that's what's being reviewed right here. Did they get this right?
Both sidelines are furiously pleading their cases about what their eyes see. But fortunately, the eye in the sky and the replays will give us a clear answer.
The good thing they reviewed it because after further examination, the call on the field has changed. First and 10 from the 46. Again, we're going to the air. Going all the way to the end zone here. And he still in his arms. Slips through. Second down coming up.
That's the one that's going to haunt you. There's just no question about it. A drop touchdown in the end zone. Defensive meant the toughest part of it. You got to flush that play quickly so you can make an impact later.
We're going to the wall. Look now, you catch by the defense. Playing the game at the 33. Now we get something about taken by the Titans. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime.
First game team at the 33-yard line.
Great opening drive continues. 1st and 10 at the 33. The shutdown. It's Ward. It's incomplete.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over the coverage. And that really did help force the incompletion.
So still 10 to go on the second from the 33-yard line. Done snap now. Left side. Taking over the 30. Tennessee calling its second timeout now. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half.
This is one of those kind of win-win situations. Both sides feel good. There's an offense, I get a completion. I get a win. There's a defense, I keep everything in front of me. I make the tackle for a short game. I get a win too. Sometimes you can get to win-win.
It's going to throw here on 3rd. And that's intercepted. At the same time,
Such a huge point of emphasis for so many defenses. You have to do all the field. We saw the receiver enter the middle and did a terrific job of baiting the quarterback in the throw, and an even better job of forcing the interception.
the Seahawks are going to take over late in the half. And they've got a little over 30 seconds to work with. Just over 30 seconds left in the half as they come to the line. Running the third, 3 seconds. His first time in the game lines up incomplete. Nearly an interception on that play, so it'll be second down.
I can say this definitively. That is not the way you thank your defense for giving you the football. Don't follow that other quarterback steps and toss it right back to him. You got away with one.
Almost a very quick drive, but the drop kick gives him new life. This is second down. Running back sets in motion. 2nd and 10. Downs. Taking down at the 24. And it's made by the rookie from Penn State.
That's a modest little drag route. But if you ever just need a safe, short gain on the throw, that's a go-to route to target.
So now here's 3rd and 5. That's halftime, and we've heard to your scoreless. With the overall advice got answered for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone. Scott Hansen here on the 5th floor studios. You can't win if you can't score. That might be the message to the offenses at halftime. Both completely shut down as we are scoreless to break. First touchdown wins, maybe even next field goal wins. Let's find out who can score the game's first points as we rejoin our commentators, Kate Scott and Brock Hewitt.
All right. Thanks for that, Scott. These two teams could break this ties. We welcome you back for the 3rd quarter.
Joey's
We've seen one half of football and no points just yet. Let's see who can finally break that deadlock here in our second half. Returning it from the floor. And he's brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Seahawks are nettled out, and we'll see Kenneth Walker. Seahawks just about set. Here's first and 10. Here's playing into the it's going to get this one. Calculate a nice gain at 10 first down.
Seahawks. First down. First and 10.
Run like this, it just gives everybody a little bit more bounce offensively because you also know it can set the table for more.
Going to the ground again on first. One managed to get this on the screen.
That's a one that's hold on to the stat sheet. If you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll actually be because of a play just like that, with softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Darnold looking to throw. It's in the pitch here. And they're going to the 59-yard line. Monday night, my time. Somehow this game is still scoreless as we get set for our final quarter. Third down, they need 7. Throwing down. Connection to Shaheen. Just on the other side of midfield. You see, calling for a timeout. They're first and 3. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game.
49-yard line.
Two timeouts remaining and some time left to use them. It's first and 10. It's a throw. Yes. And they make the tackle at the 38. Seattle going to play second timeout. And they're still going to have 1 left at their disposal.
But it is pretty darn impeccable time between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback. And the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
To the line for a new set of downs, only a lone timeout at their disposal. Sleeping up for it's money. And he's going to get consistent back connection. They can still win it with a field goal or a touchdown run. It's going to be second down.
There's no route on your proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're throwing it to a spot and believing your guy can get there.
This is what the secrets. This is the consistency they needed. They didn't come out. Now we get a timeout taken by the Titans. That's their first. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. Eighth play to drive now. They need 2 to keep it going. Now to throw. He's slipping to go for the catch. I get this all the way to the 16-yard. Tennessee completed its second timeout. And they're still going to have 1 left at their disposal.
First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
To the line for a new set of downs, only a lone timeout at their disposal. Look to throw it. He's going to be able to stop that, but still winning with a field goal or a touchdown, Rob. It's going to be second down.
So sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
8 yards to go. Well, let's see how they approach this second down. Here's the throw. Look at anyone with this seconds.
That's a defensive score, right? Okay, just get us to third down so we can have a chance to get off the field. That was a good adjustment on that stop in particular. When the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep them short of the sticks.
It's worth it. The Titans go their third and final timeout. And now they're powerless to stop that clock with a timeout at least. An important attempt coming up here from Jason Myers. This only a chip shot from the right hand. And what is good? He can take the lead inside 5 minutes.
You know what I love about that kick? He didn't shrink from the spot. He seized the moment, made it his own. And that kick might just win them this game.
Here's Myers now. They go to kick off. There's chips now. Oh, it's a good one. He's got and once he's stuck in the field position, he goes beyond the 40. So Tennessee here for the second drive of the game. And a nice drive last time out, Brock squandered by that interception. So I think they take a repeat of everything except that final play. Good starting field position for the Titans. They've got it. First and 10. To turn back and pick. He's throwing again. I think this is the way it wasn't that was for something. It comes up second 10. Shotgun snap. He can throw. Just too good there. Taking it on the road. He was confident in, so just throws it away. Third down coming up.
Right there, Kate, that's taking the hard lessons from the previous drive. Putting into practice right here. You don't see a throw you like. It's too tight a window. Don't risk yet another interception.
Nice pass unsuccessful. Let's see what they do on third down. To throw. Trying to push deep down the field. And that one hits the ball incomplete. So see the city.
Took some fortune to do. That took some serious defensive effort to force the completion. I'm not going to see a lot of guys ever let go of it. When they got a first down net in their midst, of course, that content separated Maine from Bell.
This is outside the field goal range, so no choice but to go for it here. Here goes Guy. Face off one down. Say, that sucks. His injury almost just wins. He got to him before he could reach that end zone. This game's over. There's several thousand men and women cheering as the Seahawks win at home. And there was no easy enough. It took some white knuckling until the very end, but their defense carried that small lead through to the finish line as they escaped with a victory. With Rocky Gordon and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Seahawks winners, as we say so long from Seattle.
National Football League.
It's time for some football. We got them in the room field in Seattle. Tonight, a pair of NFC West lines set to do battle. It's the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. Ready to get this game 7 years Eddie Pinheiro. Here we go, Monday Night Prime Time. To return this, Rashid Shaheed. This is going to be to the family. So welcome to Seahawks for their first offensive possession. And bringing them out as one of the NFL's best scorers as of late, a former third overall pick Brock who has revitalized his NFL career. Sam Darnold.
If we'd asked Sam Darnold coming out of USC as the third overall pick in the draft to write the story of his career, I don't think he would have written some of these chapters. But in the end, it makes you tougher. It makes you grittier. And playing quarterback in the NFL is a lot about that. Your ability to just withstand adversity and to continue to get up time and time and time. And sometimes we're shooting the little city limits. You know, all the way to the field before he was about to. It's through the yard zone at point. And it gives the Seahawks the first. That's a statement throw right there. A statement throw that lets the opposing defense know it's not just going to be check down Charlie today. They're going to be willing to push the ball down the field, and this defense better respond.
He's doing the first and 2. And he's able to reach the field on that play.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback is made or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drop route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, give your quarterback a chance.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. And the Rokier gets it for the first. As well as Scott, it's going to be 5 play of this first quarter. 3-1 on Monday Night Time. A couple of zeros on the board right now. Ball for Living Field in just a minute. About set for the second quarter. Seahawks football here. They're looking at yet another 1st and 10 on this drive. One lead complete. He's going to get it over before someone can force him out. They come through with a nice game there. Gain of 10, first down.
See the completions they rely on in their passing games.
10 at the 18-yard line.
Coming to the line for another first and 10. Back motions right. First and 10. Dominance.
You know, Kate, that was one of those situations where you hear a quarterback having a clock, right? You know, and he ended up time in the pocket, but then it was like, okay, time is running out, and I got to do something. He did not force a throw and risk a pick. Instead, he just got rid of it and cut his losses.
After the incompletion, they come up on 2nd and 10. Putting a receiver in motion. And 2nd and 10, they're doing it. Oh, too forward. Took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. That's incomplete.
This quarterback you love when that screen pass is called. At least I used to. And you want to trap that defense and all those guys coming after you. But you also got to find a throwing lane, and he couldn't do it on that one.
Down. In the end zone, it's that's incomplete. So they take their shot for the end zone, Brock, rather than focusing on that first down marker. And now they've got a decision to make.
Yeah, I think with that incompletion, they made the decision. You better send that field goal team on. They took their shot. They just couldn't finish it.
Jason Myers out there now to try a field goal for the Seahawks on 4th down. This is from 35 out. On the left hand. Myers kick is going. On the way into the second quarter, he's into it.
I never saw a play script that ended with a field goal. It was always a touchdown if you're around it. That's 3 points, and it's enough to give them the lead.
Here's Myers now, ahead of the kickoff. Single window to return. See, gets him down to 26-yard line. The 49er offense send it out now late in the half. It's something made. Let's see if they can get this in field goal range. All right, working from the gun this sucks. First and 10. What do you throw here to start? He's taken down just a company on shot of the 40. It's up here taken by the 49ers. That's going to be their first. We're 2 left to work with before halftime.
Well, Bill Walsh was implementing the drag up with the 49ers in the 80s. It sounded the same way as it did with my former me with the Seahawks in the 2000s versus man the drag out really late. You see zone coverage, settle down, give your quarterback his numbers, and you can find a completion just like that.
First down is all by Purdy. Late Christmas get up, you're losing 47-yard line. San Francisco calls it second timeout. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half.
I think my favorite part was the magic he wanted to play for the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it, adding all the extra yardage.
Here's first and 10 from the 47. We've got this Purdy. It's a green. Yeah, stop before the 30, right at the 31. It's 16 yards on that play. That means it'll be first down in San Francisco.
I love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done option, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack them on the hits, but inside. So good work. Help reset those chains.
Timeout is called, just 4 seconds, and we would assume Rock 1 play remaining in this half. Eddie Pinheiro out to try to put up 3 here for the Niners. This from 48 on the left hand. Pinheiro's kick is good. It'll not this game late in the second quarter.
I think we now have, thanks to that field goal, a couple headlines to show. This should be happy. Hey, video guys, put that one on the board.
So let's see if it's a kick return that ends up half, or if you get play from scrimmage. Yes, this one's away. And it looks like we're going to have time for one more play here, Brock, because this one goes for a touchback. All not enough here to that, Brock, as we turn this over to our Blake Scott Hansen. It's not that time report. Scott?
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Scott Hansen here with an abridged version of the halftime report. Both offenses still trying to find their way. Tight, competitive game, though, as we are tied at the half. To find out who will come out on top, let's rejoin our broadcast team, Kate Scott and Brock Hughes.
All right. Thanks for that hard work, Scott. These two teams could break this tie. We're welcoming back to the third quarter. Who knows when the deciding moment will come? We're underway in the second half of a deadlocked game. And those who return. These rotations be only 25 people long. San Francisco headed out for its second possession of the game. Offense to the line again. 6 right to start out. Great throwing here on first. Let's go to the touch of the moment. And again, when you hit the line of scrimmage.
The defense was all over that. They could smell that one coming, and they sniffed it out in the third.
2nd and 10. Need something positive here. Here's the first carry for Christian McCaffrey. If you have a fourth and it's still taken. I'm going up with 6-6 and first going to get like a hit on base stuff. They need to feel when you can. You think when there was a big one,
Let's get back to a fighting chance. Give yourself a better count. The play, it does the same here. Now a much more manageable. We make a 2 for a down situation.
third down, 30. It's cool. Pearson loses it. And he's set close to the first down. He opened it. We reached the final quarter of Monday Night Prime Time. Just a field goal aside so far as we enter the final quarter of play. Wary of the clock here, Buck, but at least all their timeouts are still available. It's 1st and 10. It's a throw. It's going to be coming. We can't play. This is the field. He picks up 15 on the play. He picks the 3 moves the first.
Like this, that's exactly where you want to get him the bell. That's the inside. He's got the space in the line. We need to look.
Wary of the clock here, Buck, but at least all their timeouts are still available. It's 1st and 10. They're sending back in left and right. Setting up to plants. This guy's hoping to do this. He's brought to pushing to that 35 yards. It's out here taken by the 49ers. That's going to be their first. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game.
Sure seemed like he knew where he was going and with that off the scene.
Two timeouts remaining and some time left to use them. It's 1st and 10. On the counter, the kick play. They switch system to get it to it. The Seahawks coming for a timeout. They're 1st and 3. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game.
These are the runs Kate to just soften up the defense, keep working on them, keep working on them. And eventually you're going to break one of those counters to even bigger yardage.
Last run got him 3. Here's 2nd and 7. Looking at the gun. It's Purdy. Flags him over here. Looks up for him. He's back in the red zone before the end of the day. Now Seattle going to call it 2nd timeout. And they're still going to have 1 left at their disposal.
Just I really like this receiver on that trade route in particular. Why? Because he's a guy that creates after the catch. They don't close quickly. He can take it to the house.
2 timeouts remaining and some time left to use them. It's 1st and 10. Already going to look to run. This time down in the first inning. Now the Seahawks have to spend their 30 final timeouts. And now they're powerless to stop that clock with a timeout at least. They're all set up for the game winner. Let's see how they approach it, starting with this 1st and goal. They look to throw it. This man can't get underneath. He's blocked that real close to that goal line. After one.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic. But sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field and you can depend on him.
That one is good. And barring the unexpected, that's going to be your game winner.
The field goal is the lead for the moment, Kate, but you don't feel comfortable when you look up at that scoreboard. This one is moving. That lead certainly isn't safe.
Now Pinheiro on to handle the kickoff. This one lines up as a touchback, so they're going to have 1 final snap to work with. So it's a win for the visiting 49ers. And with overtime in their back pocket, they weren't going to lose it at the end, but they still managed to set up the field goal and execute the game win. What a memorable way to win it. So for Brock Heward and all of our crew, I'm Kate Scott, wrapping up another edition of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the 49ers, as we say so long from Seattle.
Welcome to the football
kickoff. It's away. Here, the field is here. Tonight's a paramedic. Seafood is squared up. It's the Minnesota Vikings. Seahawks. Bill Reichert has it all teed up. Monday Night Prime Time is underway. His return start to the front. It used to be it's about to come see their first offensive possession. And bringing them out one of the NFL's best stories. It's played a former third overall pick Brock who has revitalized his NFL career. Sam Darnold.
If we'd asked Sam Darnold coming out of USC as the third overall pick in the draft to write the story of his career, I don't think he would have written some of these chapters. But in the end, it makes you tougher. It makes you grittier. And playing quarterback in the NFL is a lot about that. Your ability to just withstand adversity and to continue to get up time after time after time. And Sam Darnold is showing this. He's going to be escorted for the 45. Even 10-yard gain on the play. And that means a fresh set of downs for Seattle. The Cheers. Go get the chains. Build momentum to keep that defense in its hands.
All set to go now from the 35. Motion the tight end over. First in. It's the way to put a leasing business because he's looking behind the line. And some of these new records are so impressive these days, but real times and offering the range downhill and cut that play down behind the line.
Got the calling card at the position played today. They're not as big as they once were, but boy, can they run. As you said, whether it's downhill or sideline to sideline like that.
From the guard, John. It's a catch. It's making too tough. And it will not be enough for a first down. That's going to do it for our first quarter here on Monday Night Prime Time. A couple of zeros on the board right now. Or from Lumen Field in just a minute. About set for the second quarter. Seahawks football here. They have 34 to start out. Incomplete. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. And 4th and 4 coming up.
The numbers tell us pretty clearly you get to third and long, extra long, it's really hard to stay on the field. That's disappointing because that was third and manageable and an incomplete.
That's taken at the 15. The Vikings win a football here late in the half. We're down inside 50 seconds to play. Enough time to at least get in the field goal range. Vikings to the line now. Here's 1st and 10. First carry here for Evan Jones. Looks like it's
Okay, that might be a little bit of a disappointing one to me. I know they always do. It's acceptable there to the offensively to get this time moving.
So 85 on that first step. Let's see if they can repeat that performance down here on second. Looking at the row. It's going to end this by the 40. Just a little bit short of it. Just before halftime, you get time now, take it. This is going to be the play that takes us to halftime. Looking at throw. Finally, this one in deep down the right side. The throw is incomplete. So no time remaining in our first half.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone. Scott Hansen here in the EA studios in Central Florida. If you're a fan of offense, I know many of us are, this hasn't been the game for you. Zip, zip at the half, a rare score where the next score might win. Let's find out who can break through into the third quarter. To call it for us, it's our commentary team, Kate Scott and Brock Hewitt.
All right. Thanks for that hard work, Scott. These two teams could break this tie. We welcome you back for the third quarter. Well, Brock, I think it's safe to say this has been a defensive slobber knocker 3-2, right? Maybe some points finally on the horizon as we resume play. This makes it up to the 23rd. The Vikings and Aaron Jones heading back out there on offense. Minnesota into formation. It's 1st and 10. Great action. Look at the pick. He's got something. They're going to celebrate a first down for this game there as he's down by contact.
These are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for QB to inspire the guys around him. He doesn't remember carrying his teammates to a first down on that big run. That inflates an offense.
That's good for Gator 5. Taken lead by Ernest Jones.
Really good patience right there. It's due for runners in this league because these rolls close up so fast. But he was patient. He was explosive. Nice little game in the ground.
Touchdown run, now is in 5. Now 2nd and 5. On play action now. Look at my thing. He's going to force the throw. He's going to run in. He'll take some spot to the end of our third quarter. Let's go up and go on Monday night time. Somehow this game is still scoreless as we get set for our final quarter. No connection on the last play. Then out 3rd down. Gonna throw it. They take this down to 44 before he stops. The Vikings go to the now to be their first. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game.
First down.
Two timeouts remaining and some time left to use them. It's 1st and 10. He needs to throw. He needs to bring it for Jones. He's shooting the first. I don't know what game.
Well, this is a game. For me as a runner, to get the ball, he's just as adept at swinging the screen and for the same kind of yardage, too.
Offense still line. This is 2nd and 4. It's incomplete. It's incomplete. The players going to be thrilled with the touches almost made on this match. Gives him a chance to get John after the play. Let's the other guy know if you buffed him up, it cost him that catch. Down at 40. This is the 2nd play of this drive. On the gun, Jones gets it. Every single just outside the end zone. That'll get 14 yards and a new center down. And with 2 seconds remaining in our contest, we're going to see what both teams decide to do with this final play. Through the tension and pressure, Will Reichard out to kick. And with 2 seconds remaining in our contest, we're going to see what both teams decide to do with this final play. Now out comes the second-year kicker in one of the biggest spots of his young career. With the right hash, this is going to be a 41-yarder. The kick is good. He got it. And it's your kick. So the Vikings pick up the win. They still managed to set up the field goal and he executed the game winner. What a memorable way to win it. So that puts it all on this one. For my partner, Brock, you've been very lucky. I'm Kate Scott signing off. This has been another presentation of the NFL on the Sports. The Vikings emerge as winners as we say so long from Seattle.
No football here.
Because there's been see it. So the things I feel. I'll say it for it's see. Daniel Carlson ready to get started. Here we go, Monday Night Prime Time. Then the Super. So out come the Seahawks, their first offensive possession. And bringing them out, one of the NFL's best stories as of late, and for the third overall pick, Brock, who has revitalized his NFL career, Sam Darnold.
If we had asked Sam Darnold coming out of USC as the third overall pick in the draft to write the story of his career, I don't think he would have written some of these chapters. But in the end, it makes you tougher. It makes you grittier. And playing quarterback in the NFL is a lot about that. Your ability to just withstand adversity and to continue to grow that talent after team. The same thing with the shooting.
Just before he got to midfield. Yes, a gain of 21 yards to pick up that first down.
The numbers are pretty clear, Kate. You get explosive plays. Those explosive plays on drives lead to points. You can't ask for a better start offensively.
Here's Donnie, first and 10. There's 2 points. And he hits it to the 42 before they get to stop.
That's one of those play action plays they've repped over the week during practice. The best quarterback went to bed last night thinking, Man, I hope this one's called. And when it is, hope we have just a little space to operate. That play action works beautifully. And the tight end, the beneficiary.
Let's walk it. That's a short game flying because it gives the Seahawks the first. Monday night prime time. Got those zeros on the board right now. More from Lucas Field in just a minute. About set for the second quarter. Seahawks football here. They're looking at yet another 1st and 10 on this drive. We're going. Here's the boots. Here's the game. See, he's going for a top bounce. They're 1st and 3. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime.
It takes a certain level of fairness. It's craziness to run over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while, you know you could take a lick at any time.
2nd and 3 now. They kick the running back in motion. 2nd down, looking for options. He's stepping up. Takes up the sliding down. That's like good enough for a first.
I love that play. I mean, that's quarterback 101. Nothing downfield. Get what you can with your legs, but so much more importantly, protect yourself. Availability, one of the most important abilities for any quarterback.
1st and 10. Dominant. Second kick. He's because we put close to the first once this ball game. It's gonna be for some goal now. Now Seattle gonna call a second timeout. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half.
10 yards to go.
To the line and sits. Here we go. 1st in. Moving zone now. So his first play was for that perfect 4-for-4 starts. And won't expect one incompletion, though, to stop him from leading on him this opening drive.
No, I don't think so. And I think more than anything, you see the defense kind of well, can hit the ground on this side.
Good luck on 1st in. You're 2nd and 10. Come over here, Jones. See, I say first place in Spain just before halftime. They put together this game with so much times. They were operating in a lot of places and saw that touchdown.
What do you mean? You think that's happening, Bruce?
They
do. Keep those guys guessing defensively on their toes, not quite sure what was coming next. It would be that same strategy they employ. I'm going to guess so until that defense proves they can stop her.
Now it's Jason Myers on for the extra point. It's going. And they had one on to their first touchdown of the contest. Here's Myers now. Take on the kickoff. So it goes for a touchdown. Let's see what they decide to do to be dominating here. First and 10 now with all 15 seconds left to utilize in this half. Smith start with the throw here. He keeps it and takes it. Step is made. Chase before he's even reached that midfield strike. That's a guy's bonus. 9 seconds to go in this half.
As long as these are the results he's getting, even if he just calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
The ball's on the 48. Here we go. First down. Back to throw it. It's a screen play to Genesee. Tackle the 44-yard. It's all taken by Vegas. That's its second. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. So here comes the kick team for what will be a very long attempt. It's a deep shot for him from that left hand. And that one is not where he needed it to be anymore. No good. We have a one-score game here at the break. Now it's time for the EA Sports Halftime Report. Scott Hansen, take it away.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Scott Hansen and crew, thrilled to be with you from the Orlando studios at EA Sports. We'll keep this one short and sweet. Just one touchdown on the board so far, 7-0 at the half. Will the offenses pick it back up? To find out, let's rejoin our commentary team, Kate Scott and Brock Huber.
Thanks for that update, Scott. Welcome back, everyone, for the third quarter. One touchdown game here as we get back to the field. Here's Myers now to handle the kickoff. To return, here's what he wants. That's something that's just going on tonight. Now for the second time this game, we get a look at the Raiders offense. Still in search of their first points as we work our way through the middle of this game. The score 7-0. Raiders just about ready for this one. It's 1st and 10. This play is going to be beaten to Genesee. No game. First down.
Big man up front, so let me tell you, once you're in the grass for one of those big old fellas on the D-line, you're done. They would say it on the East Coast like this, it's over. Over.
Nothing doing on the last one. It's 2nd and 10. Going to be here to Genesee. Again, he's second down right at the line. Same call, same results. And now it's 3rd and.
Hey, all that's so simple, didn't he? That linebacker sorting right through the traffic, finding the runner. That's instincts come to life.
Deep in the playbook here, and this is 3rd and 11. Here we go, starting on. This is good. Just a million to the thing he's able to break it across midfield.
Las Vegas.
It's Raiders football, and they'll need to get to work. They're trailing here late. Wary of the clock here, Brock, but at least all the timeouts are still available. It's 1st and 10. Setting extra pass. He's got a decent game before being brought in.
That's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. He's a thrower, you see on schedule, makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
Back right of the marker. It's 2nd and 5. That's a throw. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. And now the Raiders looking for the first of their timeouts. And they still have 2 available for them until it gets to the end of this game. 2 timeouts remaining and some time left to use them. It's 1st and 10. You look to throw it. On the 30. It's about taking my Vegas. That's it, second. And they're still going to have one left out there. Disposal.
The goal of that drag route is to get it to him for at least a minimal game with space to add after that. We picked up a good chunk, and there was nearly room to add even more.
The entire playbook is open here, Brock. It is second and inches. Smith's going to throw again. He's with the first down the yardage. Now the Raiders using the left of their timeouts. And now they're down with the stop that block in a timeout at least.
But a pitching not sure was a big play on the stat sheet, but it gives his own defense a little time to rest. It gives an offensive coordinator a new set of downs to work with.
Timeout on their side here as they get set for first down. No timeouts remaining either. And again, it's Smith. And he puts it in touchdown. Big decision to the
The first thing you do as a quarterback, the first thing that you do to get to the NFL level, if you haven't learned it earlier, is to scheme those safeties. You have that middle field open or close. You have single high or two high. Is that post going to be available? Because if it is, big plays can follow.
on for the PAT, and a make would tie us up late. And everyone can think he's here now. Each side is good, and they found a way to tie it before. We've got a tie ball game now as they send this away. And that kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. So we got a touchback. It's drive to start at the 35. So Seattle retakes the field for their second series. And there's enough time left that you can't call it impossible. They're going to need a heck of a play downfield to get in range for a possible game winner. And into the line, the Seahawks in a good spot as they prepare for this 1st and 10. So we're going to dominate. Just put that technical stuff so we can solve the game. Well, Robinson Waters couldn't decide. And now we're set up for an exciting conclusion to this contest. For time coming up there. Gotta block that missed kick from their minds and refocus. Still a win to be had as overtime has begun. We start on the return. This manages to get just beyond that 30-yard line. The Raiders have their offense back out there. They threw it the whole way down the field on their last drive, but they welcome the same level of play on this series as well. You set it down for him from the 31. In motion right. First throw of overtime. And he's going to take those. You have a chance to win in OT. Nope, just second down now. So play number one almost ended this drive. Let's see what play number two has in store. This is Jancy. It's playing for the game. It's now. Timeout taken by Vegas. That's its second. As they'll be left with just one more to work with here at LT.
You know, it's plays like that. It's just kind of the meat and potatoes. Not going to make any highlight reel, but just the positive, efficient plays on the ground. You need to keep plays and drives alive.
First drive of overtime and a little risk of stalling out now. Gotta get 4 here on third down. Throwing it. Escape for the football. And he'll be going off to move the chains.
What to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes? I think that's about the Oopsies in the O's. That's a well drawn up completion that nets them the first down.
First down. First down from 42. Smith to the air now. And hands up to complete. Some bigger progress across midfield. There's the opposing 46.
There's a time to be a little finessey with the football player. Another time, put your palm into it and let it eat, throw it right through your target's chest. This one, I don't right there was the smart to make a fastball zing in before anyone could undercut the curl around.
First and 10 from 46. Wait for the pistol here with Jancy. He keeps the big here, not in the pockets. It's second 10. So we still can't do it all over again. What do you say? Not overtime. It's coming your way. Last one got them 9, so now they need one more here on second 10. Motion the slot man right. Okay, here to the motion. He's stopped at the 31-yard line. You'll see he got 5 there, but Bronco, all they care about is the first down that comes with it.
First down, Raider.
You set it down for him from the 31. You've got a man in motion. He gets in the first part of the game. Like this one's couldn't stand. Let's listen. The game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And we're going to wait to see if they respond. So the penalty backs him up. Here's a first and 20. Shotgun snap to Smith. And he just gets rid of it. We went into the place left. He didn't want to take a risk on first in. No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. Shotgun give here to Jancy. He does it. Touchdown. The Raiders take the lead in this game.
Take that play by day. That run is exactly why this team wanted this rookie on their roster. It is so hard to break away from the NFL level. This rookie is putting on the show.
Now for the extra points and a 7-point lead to defend here in overtime. The Commanders splits the upper. The Raiders break that tie and now lead by 7. It's going to need to go touchdown for touchdown here. This game is over as this kicks away. Return coming from the 6. And he's from Wilson. Wins at the 25. Seattle getting everybody set. They've got 1st and 10. That's his turn in with the time. They were fully in just a second before we could reach that 40. Now you can stop the clock with 9 seconds left in OT.
That is what elite offense is all about. One play downs when you need only one. Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
You set it downs for them. They'll start at the 38. Going on first. Here's Jones. That's another quick hit. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought in. Minnesota's in a timeout. 4 seconds left in OT, so this is assuredly their final snap of this extra frame. This entire game hinges on them finding the end zone, Brock, as they come up on 2nd down. But inside the game to one. When it gets to him, it's going to be marked as no gain. So Brock, that means 3rd down coming up. To throw. It's 2 points. And he's the first step in it.
Okay, I say it, Tom, is the man's best friends. Tight end that moves the chains on 3rd down. That's a QB's best friend.
The ball's on the 48. Here we go. 1st down. Gotta go. And here's Jones. Once again, complete. This is 3 of the midfield squad in the corner. Sit in the field. Now Seattle going to call it 2nd timeout. And that'll leave them with just 1 remaining in overtime. Second down now, 7 to go. Move the field, he's the Shaheen. And he'll be the one to move the chains.
I'm sure Coach play caller doesn't mind making the job of everybody easier. You know, play callers simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
You set it downs for them. They'll start at the 38. Starting 1st and 10. And this one goes game complete. Still 17 seconds left to play.
It's now 2nd and 10.
After the incompletion, still at the 38, it's 2nd and 10. And again, it's going. That is incomplete. Only 15 seconds left.
This defense only said he ripped up that script. They have seen him be way too productive. Time to start right for every single throw.
So after that prior incompletion, it's 3rd down. Where is the throw? Something doesn't get rid of it. Not the way they wanted. It's going to be 4th down.
There's not a quarterback alive that enjoys throwing it away on 3rd down. But that's a good case right there of live to play another day. Live to play another series and don't put the ball in harm's way.
Gonna throw it. You can accept the field. And he's the inside red zone before hitting the deck. So a new set of downs. Here we go. 1st and 10. And put a receiver in motion right. In the red zone now. We'll go to the 16.
It's a beautiful. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 16-yard line.
5 still to go here. This is 2nd down. We're going to get in here. That's going to add some distance on this upcoming 3rd down.
Bend. Even good defenses, great defenses in this league, Kate, they're going to bend at times, but you never want to break. And when you get a sack in the red zone, that goes a long ways to helping your efforts.
Raiders defense goes in the dime for 3rd down. Throw. A couple of really good plays were made back to back on the line to bring up 4th down. Biggest play of OT. The offense is going for it. It's my throw. It's on it. That's a money. That's what the really shit to get the yards he needed. He's brought that well short, so they can turn it around down.
Short on 4th down, it's got to be something from the short list of plays you expect to work every time. If that one's on the short list, I think it's got to be reevaluated. Something wasn't working on it. It cost them a possession.
So it's a road win for the Raiders in this one. Well, in the past, that opening touchdown would have won for them on the spot, but not anymore, baby. They needed not just the score, they needed a stop on the other end, too, before they could leave here with that victory.
Ultimate team, right? Together, everyone achieves more. The old thing like coin toss was often the deciding factor, not anymore. Now it took their defensive effort as well. It's by that locker room celebration because it's a whole team. gonna be so darn sweet.
Well, that'll do it for us, for Brock Hewer and our entire hardworking crew. I'm Keith Scott. This has been the NFL on EA Sports. The Raiders winners, as we say so long from Seattle.